Hello, my name is Patrick Murphy, and I'm a senior lecturer at Vanderbilt University and coordinator of Intensive Elementary Spanish. This is my project on how students will use Twitter for class. First, there are a few different ways I use Twitter in my beginning level Spanish course. So for this project, I will demonstrate how I have students create an account and then use topics that are related to what we were doing in class in order to write or comment via this very popular and mainstream social media. For my beginner students, this activity has been very fun, been engaging, and it's been a way for them to express themselves and connect with the language in an interesting and relevant way. I think it also gives students another outlet for class participation and to, again, additionally practice what we're learning in class. So the first thing I have my students do is to log on and create an account with Twitter. Now, I already have an account, and so I'll start there. Now, it's very important to make sure that students create a Twitter account separate from any personal Twitter account they may already have. Again, I believe this is extremely important because I need students to understand that this is for class and not meant for personal tweets in English. I remind them that I will show their tweets in class, so to please be discreet with personalizing their Twitter pages. I want students to feel free to personalize it with a photo of themselves or a photo that they might demonstrate a little bit of their personality. But again, I want them to be appropriate and discreet in this manner because, again, this is an academic setting, and while Twitter is a social media, we are using it specifically for class and for class purpose. This is a good time also to really remind students the significance of a tweet and what it means to be critical of what we're consuming via social media and also understand the significance of what we produce for the world in any language. I have been doing this social media, this Twitter project, since 2014, and I've really not had any issues at all with student discretion. They seem to really understand that and what it means to be responsible with their Twitter page. The results of this activity, however, have been very meaningful. They've been very meaningful, relevant, and we've had some really cool, authentic interactions in my classes. So now once students have created their accounts, they'll need an email address to set the account up. Then they follow me, and then I can reciprocate and follow them. Once we are following each other, I can see their production more easily on Twitter. I also ask that they follow each other, so it again it's easier to see their classes. It's easier to see the classes work. Additionally, I encourage students to follow organizations or people that interest them, but in the Spanish-speaking world. This by no means limits them or their interests, since the Spanish-speaking world is so vast and includes even the United States. For example, I recommend students follow Spanish language news outlets or even mainstream U.S. news, but in Spanish. For example, I follow, and I could recommend them to follow CNN in Espanol. So you can click on that and see here I'm already following, so they can follow this and they can see news stories from CNN but in Spanish. And again, most other organizations are going to have a Twitter feed. It can be organizations even typically from English outlets. So for example, if a student likes the NFL, football, National Football League, they can find NFL in Espanol. Or if a student likes a certain social application like BuzzFeed, they can find BuzzFeed in Espanol. So there are certain things that they can find that interest them, but with a Spanish follow, a Spanish site on Twitter, page on Twitter. Again, they can also look up celebrities, so they can find celebrities like Cristiano Ronaldo or Lionel Messi or Shakira, Daddy Yankee, anyone that might interest them that would have a Spanish Twitter account. So after the students have created their account and they're following me, their classmates, and other organizations related to Spanish, they're ready for tweeting. Now, in order to make this work for class, I need to use hashtags for the topics that I would like to see them tweet about. The hashtag serves as a filter for tweets and a way for us to see the class's tweets in one organized space. So for the example, if the topic is food, I asked students to tweet about food using the hashtag comida. So if we put in the hashtag search comida, that will filter all the tweets that are related to anything with the word comida and the hashtag. So comida would give us still a pretty limitless number of tweets to filter through. So for class purpose, I will still need to make these hashtags more unique for each class. So in this case, let's make it more unique so you can see what one of my classes produced. So I created the hashtag Comida302. So I assigned that hashtag in class, and my students understand that they have to create 2 tweets, and in each tweet they have to provide the hashtag Comida302. That way, I can filter the entire class's tweets only. These are all my students from the semester I used hashtag Comida302. This is the most effective way I've found to use Twitter for class, since I only want to see the tweets from that specific class on that specific topic. So as you can see, my students have written their tweets in Spanish. Most of these tweets have to do with their preferences for food. Some students tweeted out pictures and commented on the pictures. Videos, commented on the videos. Notice the video itself is actually in English, but their tweet is written in Spanish, so this is acceptable as well. And each tweet in this list carries that hashtag. So it's really been a fun and engaging way for students to communicate with each other, with me, with the class, outside of the room of class each day. The follow-up that I use these tweets for, so for example, how do I use these tweets in class? The follow-up would be to show the hashtag projected on the screen and talk about what people's tweets may have been, and follow up a question. So if a student were to say he doesn't like the food on campus, I might ask him why or why not. We've also had some really unique and fun interactions using these hashtags. Let me show an example. There was a hashtag a few semesters ago that I used for technology. And I had a student who tweeted out an ad from Sprint Latino. And when he tweeted the ad, he received a tweet reply from a Sprint sales agent who was asking him if there was any way she could help him today. And he said, maybe so, as you have anything that's free. So in this conversation, he is having an authentic, real conversation with a sales representative from Sprint Latino in Spanish. And this is a beginning class with a beginning student who had only had about a month of Spanish in my course. I think he was trying to get a deal on a phone plan. So we've had some real fun and authentic interactions using Twitter, and it allows the students to really have a fun, different way to participate and practice the language that we're learning given these topics. I'll follow up with another project on how I use Twitter and connecting with more specific cultural information as well, so stay tuned for that. But try it out and see what your students can come up with using Twitter, and making sure you use specific hashtags, because that really does help filter your results and allows you to look at this in class as well to follow it up. As far as evaluation of the tweets, for this activity I only use this for participation. I'm really looking for volume. I'll have students tweet a lot, 2 to 4 times a week, depending on the topic. So I really want volume and not necessarily perfect grammatical accuracy, to really give them more just additional practice producing spontaneously. Plus, as a instructor of numerous sections with numerous tweets, it would be nearly impossible for me to grade every single tweet from every single student. But that's not really the goal here. So again, I think if you're interested, check it out, try it out, and see where it takes you. And again, stay tuned for another project, and I will update that hopefully soon. and you can see how we use it to connect with culture in class. Thanks a lot.